The program is designed for any educators who are seeking an advanced degree and certification in instructional leadership. And this program is to prepare you for various positions within the organization that lead to a degree or certification in leadership. Typical student in our program is someone that is employed full-time. You must have at least 3 years of experience in a P12 setting. 1 year must be within classroom teaching experience, and this can be a teacher or other professional educator experience, and it can be either in public or private P12 schools. We have 2 programs. Our first program is the Full Master's program. The Full Master's and the EDS, both of those programs are 30 credit hours. Both programs are completely online, taught by the University of Alabama faculty. Both programs, the Master's program includes an internship. The internship is broken down into 2 semesters. We have field-based experiences that are incorporated in all of our courses, and we also have a 10-day residency. The 10-day residency can also be broken down over the course of the 2 internship courses. In the EDS program, you are doing a problem analysis project, and you also have a comprehensive exam. The other certification-only option for the master's, in the master's instructional leadership area, just getting certification, if you currently hold a master's degree, then you're eligible for the reduced hour option, and that is 18 credit hours. And with that, that means that you are adding a certification to your master's degree. Next, you will find a listing of courses, and these are just some of the basic courses that we have for the Educational Leadership and Master's and the EDS program. Both programs you will see, we do have law and finance classes. We talk a lot about the communities and stakeholders. We're looking at teaching and learning. We're trying to teach you how to become, in the master's program, we're looking at system level leadership and how to be a leader within your school. And once you move into the EDS program, you're looking at leadership from a district level. So those are the basic differences between the master's and the EDS when it comes to the leadership courses. So now that we've gotten you interested in the program, you're probably asking, what are the admissions requirements? For both the Master's and EDS, the admissions requirement require an undergraduate GPA of 3.0 or an average 3.0 for your last 60 hours in the degree program, a minimum score of 300 on the GRE or in the 50th percentile for unconditional admissions. We do look at conditional admissions, but this is just for unconditional admissions. We accept the next application deadline is November 1st for spring applications, and then after that we have April 1st for summer, and then again July 1st for fall applications. For the Master's in Educational Leadership, the requirements: you must have a bachelor's degree from an accredited institution, and you must have an Alabama Class B or Class A teaching certification. If you are coming from out of state and you do not have an Alabama teaching certification, then we encourage you to contact the Alabama State Department of Education to check for the requirements for reciprocity to see how you can get an Alabama certification. And again, as I mentioned, you must have 3 years of full-time professional educational experience, with at least 1 year of that time being in a classroom as a teacher. And for the certification only means that you already have a master's degree. The admission requirements are the same. The only difference is that you do not have to take the GRE or MAT because there are no test score requirements for that one. For the application process, the application, you should send in official transcripts from all institutions that you have attended. We will also need official test scores. In your portfolio, you should have a statement of purpose. The statement of purpose should include, why do you want to become an instructional leader? Why do you want to come to the University of Alabama to pursue this degree? What are your expectations from us as a university in helping you pursue this degree? And what is it that you hope to learn? Provide at least 3 letters of recommendation. 1 should be from your current principal or supervisor. And all of these are included as part of the application portfolio. You will also have to participate in an interview, and the interview will be an online interview. We will use an online Zoom or Skype interview process, and we will also do a written sample after that interview as part of your application process. In the EDS program, part of the admissions, you must have a master's degree from an accredited institution, and you must also have an Alabama Class A certificate in instructional leadership or other leadership certification. You must also be employed in an administrative position or 3 years of employment in an instructional leadership position, or be able to demonstrate the abilities from the leadership standards. So if you are not employed as if you're not currently employed as a leader, but you have recently just graduated from a program, or you have graduated from a program in previous years with the leadership certification, you still will have to demonstrate to the committee that you have mastered or that you still understand the standards within leadership before you can be admitted into the EDS program. And Dr. Westbrook will be able to explain that to you in a little bit more detail if you're interested in the EDS program. The completed EDS application includes a statement of purpose. And again, a statement of purpose just describes why you want to enroll in the EDS program at the University of Alabama. What are your expectations of the program, and what is it you hope to gain from this degree? 3 letters of recommendation. 1 has to be from your current supervisor or principal, and it also includes a writing sample.
Thank you, Dr. Bonham. We appreciate that information. As distance learning students pay a flat hourly tuition rate regardless of residency, the rate does not include any applicable course fees or books. Students have the option to purchase access to the Student Health Center and the Student Recreation Center. Unfortunately, you must be enrolled as a campus student in order to be eligible for athletic tickets. The College of Continuing Studies offers scholarships to students who are enrolled in Bama by Distance degree programs. To apply for scholarships, you must first be admitted to the university. Applications are accepted year-round, and scholarships are awarded each semester. As a distance learner, you'll have access to the same resources available to campus students. You are eligible to apply for federal financial aid. Students eligible for military educational assistance may use their educational benefits here at the University of Alabama. Distance learners have access to all university library resources, including access to scholarly databases, assistance with writing and citation, tools and tips for research, and the Interlibrary Loan Program. In the next few days, you'll receive an email with information that includes important website addresses, resources, and contact information, as well as a link to the recorded session. This brings us to the end of our presentation. At this time, we'll open it up to the question and answers. If you have a question, type it in the text box. I'll read the questions, and I'll have Dr. Bonham answer those questions. I am going to put the contact information for myself, Dr. Bonham, and Dr. Westbrook up so that you'll have that information so that you can reach out to us if you have questions after the recording. Heather wants to know, I hold a master's from UAB in reading education. I'm hoping to become a reading coach for my district. Would it be more advantageous to get an EDS or a certificate? I would eventually like to work on my PhD.
My response would be since you already hold a master's degree, if you hold a Class A certification, I would suggest that you go into the certification first. That would be 3 semesters of coursework. And I say that because if you go straight into the PhD, or if you go straight into the PhD, that doesn't give you any type of leadership certification. So you can finish with the PhD and still won't have that leadership certification. Whereas if you finish the certification and then continue on with the PhD, later on down the road, if you want to hold a supervisory position, then you would have earned that certification. You can't enter the EDS program in leadership without the certification. So you have to have the certification before you can even enter the EDS and certification. I hope that answers your question.
Thank you, Dr. Bynum. And Kimberly wants to know, I hold a master's from Alabama in collaborative ed and want to be a specialist in Alabama. Would I need to pursue a master's or the EDS?
Is this a specialist in special education? Okay, yes. It depends on what your ultimate goal is. Most districts, in order to be a someone at the district level, they want that if you're at the district level and you want to be a supervisor, you have to have some type of leadership, administration, or supervisory certification. And so that's where the master's or reduced hours certificate comes into play. So it will be advantageous for you to go to the RHO, which is the reduced hours certification program. And it's only 3 semesters if you already have a master's to get that certification, because you can't get into that district office unless you have some type of leadership certificate or something. And again, you can't get into the EDS in leadership unless you have a master's or certificate in leadership already. Now, if you go and get an EDS in special education, you will have the credentials and you will have the knowledge and expertise to hold that position at district office, but you don't have the administrative expertise. And that's what most districts are looking for. They want you to also have the leadership and administrative and supervision. And that's what our program offers you, is that extra piece that you need. I hope that answers your question.
Thank you, Dr. Bynum.
Okay.
We're going to wait just a couple more minutes to see if anybody else has questions. If you do have questions, please type them in the text box on the left-hand side. Waiting, I would just like to again thank each of you for coming in this afternoon and joining us for our session. Hopefully the information has been helpful for you. Our contact information is up on the page, so if you do have further questions, feel free to reach back out to us. Kimberly wants to know, with the intern hours, can you get that at the school you currently work in?
Okay, there's a difference between internship and residency. Okay, the internship are 2 different courses, and with the internship, we are teaching you the different knowledge and skills and abilities that will help you become a leader. So yes, you're working on different activities, different field-based activities, and these activities can be done outside of your regular work day. So you're not taking any days off of work while you're doing your internship. Some activities for your internship may be to lead a data meeting, or it may be to lead a faculty meeting, or to help with scheduling. So those things are not going to interfere with your regular work. So yes, you can do those at your regular school. However, the 10-day residency is almost like a job shadowing. Those you can do at your regular school. However, we encourage you to go to a different school because of diversity. We want you to have a different perspective. If you're at a high school, we want you to go to an elementary school. or middle school, because we want you to have different types of experiences, and you won't get the same experiences if you are at your home school. So those are the two differences between the internship and the residency.
Thank you, Dr. Bynum.
I hope that answers your question.
Heather wants to know, my undergrad is from UA and my master's is from UAB. Do you know how your certification program compares to UAB's program?
That's a very good question. I know the faculty from UAB very well. I do not know how many hours their program is. We all have the same standards because we all, both of us are approved by the state with the same state standards. So we both have the same standards, whereas we spread some of our standards out through our internship courses and through some of the courses that we have. I don't know how they spread their standards out. So I don't know if they, whereas for our reduced hour program, we have 3 classes and we put most of ours in those 3 classes in our internship. I don't know how many classes they have for their reduced hour and if they, where they put all of their standards. So that's something that you will have to look for their reduced hour, how many classes they have and where most of their standards are. But we both have the same standards that we're following.
Thank you. And Lex wants to know, I think my question is very similar, so I apologize for the repetition. But I hold a master's degree from UAB in early childhood elementary education. I'd like to be a supervisor of some sort in the future. I would need to take the Master's in Educational Leadership, then go on to the EDS, or reduced schedule certification, then EDS.
Okay, so Lex, you have several options. Since you already hold a master's degree, you can go to the reduced hour certification, which will give you your leadership certification, and then from there you can go into whatever specialty you want. You can then go to an EDS if you want to do an EDS in elementary early childhood, or you can go to a doctorate in early childhood or elementary. But the certification will give you the leadership and supervisory piece that you need, and then from there you can choose whatever content area specialty that you want.
Thank you. And Heather wants to know, just so I understand, we would work with our administrator to schedule internship hours as well as our residency.
And you would, I'm also the internship coordinator. I will be your intern supervisor, so you will work with me, and you will also work with your administrators. So you and I will work together to schedule your residency hours. So yes, we will work together to coordinate those. If you can tell me, what school district are you in? Trustville City? Yes. They've worked with me. I've had several students that come through Trustville City, so I haven't had any problems working with them. And I've already have a memorandum of understanding with the superintendent there, so we shouldn't have any problems getting your placements. We have memorandums with Jefferson County, so that's perfect as well. I've worked with almost all of the counties in this area, all the way up to, I'm actually in North Alabama now, and all the way down to Baldwin County. Let me see if I see anything else.
Limestone?
Yes, I'm in Lauderdale right now, up in, well, I was in Decatur, but I'm in Florence now.
Okay, Lex says she would be coming from out of state, Louisiana. How difficult would it be to set up an internship or residency for her?
It would not be difficult at all. We actually have some people who are from out of state. The most difficult part would be, do you have Alabama certification? If you do not have Alabama certification, your first step will be to work with the State Department of Education here to get certification. And then once you have Alabama certification, I will work with your current principal and superintendent to make sure that we go over the Alabama standards. They're not that much different from the national standards because we are closely aligned to the national standards, which probably your state also aligns to the national standards. And then we set up everything on Zoom or Skype where we have discussions. And then that's how we coordinate everything from there. So I do have some students who are out of state now. The farthest one I have now is in California. So Louisiana, that's not a problem.
And Priscilla, speaking of California, wanting to know about working with students from California as well.
Yes, I have somebody in Redland, California.
And I'm going to go back real quick and put the dates up for the application deadlines so that you guys will have those. Right there, sorry. So for spring, November 1st is your deadline. Summer, April 1st. And for fall 2019 is July 1st. Do we have any other questions this afternoon? Dr. Bonham, I would like to thank you for taking time out of your busy day to join us this afternoon with the great information. So Priscilla is saying, okay, so the same apples get Alabama certification first.
Yes, you can go ahead and start the application process, because what that alerts me is I will keep checking up with you, making sure that you have everything started, because it does take some time to gather all of the information that you need, but we can't fully review your application until you have your Alabama certification. But you can go ahead and start the process and work with the State Department to go ahead and get your Alabama certification.
Thank you. And how long roughly do you think the certification and the other programs take?
The certification from the State Department or the certification from our program? Our reduced hour option, 18 hours. Oh, if you take the full load, the 18 hours, most people finish that in 3 semesters, maybe 4 if you don't want to take 2 courses per semester. And the full master's is between 4 and 5 semesters if you're taking a full load. And again, everything is online. I am as the coordinator, I will process all of your paperwork when you come in. I'm also the intern supervisor, so I will guide you through the internship process. And then when you're getting ready to finish, I will help you apply for certification and help you get everything you need to apply for a job. So I'll be there from the beginning to the end.
Good to know that they have the same person all the way through.
Yes. So you have my contact information. The best way to reach me is by email because, as you can tell, I'm always traveling. And so that's the best way to contact me. If you have questions or if you think about something else that you didn't think about on here, I'm always there to answer questions for you.
We have one more question. If you work in a Title I school, is there grant money to help with the finances of this?
If you go to Bama by Distance, I think on there it lists some of the financial opportunities that are available. I don't know of anything that is very specific for Title I schools, but I know that that is the place that's listed for all financials and for all scholarships. And as the university sends me more information, I'll always send that out.
And that's correct. We have a link for our scholarships that we award each semester, so you could apply for those scholarships that are given each semester as well. And remember, you can also apply for financial aid as well. Except for the 18-hour reduced option, you're not eligible to apply for financial aid in that program. Okay, Dr. Bonham, thank you so much for joining us today. We do appreciate it. I believe this wraps it up, and I hope you all have a great afternoon and a great week, and roll tide.
Have a great week, everyone.